Hey everybody, welcome to this month's live Q&A. Hi Jaylene, it's great to see you here. So I received about 12 questions and so it might take me about a half hour to go through them. And if you're new here, welcome. If you're watching this on a replay, thanks so much. I really appreciate you tuning in. And so the other thing I'll add is that at the end of this video, I will go back in to the video and add chapter markings so that if you want to review a question, you'll be able to get to that question quickly. So let's go ahead and get started with our first question. Call alerts are not coming in full screen. So I get this question a lot, and I'm going to keep answering it until people understand it. So this is what it looks like. Let me come back to myself here. This is what it looks like if you have a banner coming across your screen when you receive a phone call. So the phone call isn't coming in full screen, it's coming in that little banner, and sometimes people have a hard time touching the buttons to either end the call or to receive the call. So you can fix that. Let's come back to my iPhone. And I am going to be adding a couple of blur spots here so that my personal information isn't shown. So if you come in to your settings app, which is right here, and you scroll down until you see phone and you tap on phone, you're going to see an option right here called incoming calls. And if you tap on that, you have the option to check off full screen. So if you would prefer to not see the banner but want the call coming in full screen, just put a check mark here and that pretty much, takes care of it. Okay. So let me swipe out of that and move on to question number 2. How can I save a photo or photos from Gmail to my iPhone? I'm going to show you this on my iPad just because I think it's going to be a little bit easier to see. So if you're using Gmail and you're using the Gmail app, you have to give permission for the app to download photos or to use your photos. So let me open up the Gmail app, which is down here in the right-hand corner. And I'm just going to open an image. And along the top, you're going to see these icons. The share icon. This is if you wanted to add the photo to Google Drive. This icon if you wanted to add the photo to Google Photos, and this icon if you wanted to download it. If I tap on the share icon, I should have an option to save the image, but you're going to see it's not there. I have saved to files, I have add to a shared item or album, but I don't have save image. So let me show you where that is and how you can set that permission. I'm just going to swipe out of Gmail. I'm going to come back in to the settings app. I'm going to scroll down until I see the Gmail app. So it's in alphabetical order. So there's the Gmail app. I'm going to tap on that. And right here it says allow Gmail to access, and photos says none. Tap on none, select add photos, and now when I go back in to Gmail and I tap on that photo, now if I tap the share icon, you're going to see the option to save image right here. If I tap on the download at the bottom of the screen, it's probably going to come across very quickly, but across the bottom of the screen, it's going to say image saved. So I'm going to tap on the download. It says image saved. And now if I swipe out of Gmail and I open up my Photos app, let me just position that a little bit better so you can see it. There is that image that we just downloaded. So you have to give Gmail permission to use the Photos app on your device. And I'm going to also say that it's probably like that if you have a Mac. It's like that on your iPhone and iPad. But once you give it permission, you should be able to use the Photos app. So let me swipe out of there. And let's come back to question number 3. How do I type the degree symbol on my iPhone and iPad? So this is kind of a fun little thing that you might not have been aware of. I'm going to go ahead and just open up the Notes app. And I'm going to tap on a new note in the bottom right corner. And you'll see my keyboard come up. If I want to type the degree symbol, if I tap on the 1, 2, 3 button and push and hold on the 0, now you'll see the degree symbol pop up. So behind some of these options are other symbols. So like if I push on the $ and hold it, you'll see a bunch of other symbols for money. If I come back to the ABC and I push and hold on the E, you'll see a bunch of different symbols. If I push and hold on the I, I'll get a bunch of symbols. So if you're looking for a symbol that you need when you're typing something out, look behind the letters or the numbers to see if that symbol is there. Question number 4. I use the Chrome browser on my iPad, but when I click on a link in an email, it opens in Safari. So the reason that happens is because you haven't designated a default browser. I use Chrome all the time, so I've set up Chrome to be my default browser. To do that, you come into the settings area. You're going to scroll until you see, and I think what I'll do is I'm going to go to Safari first because I think you'll see it there. So let's go to Safari. And you'll see an option for default browser app, and you'll see that mine is Chrome. If I click on it, I can change it back to Safari if I want to. I'm going to leave mine at Chrome. The other place to locate it is if I go to the Chrome app right here and tap on it, I'm going to have that same option. Default browser app is Chrome. So if you're using Chrome, you must make it your default browser. So let me show you how it works. If I come into the Mail app, and I have a email open that has some links in it, if I tap on a link, it's going to open that link in my Chrome browser. So you just want to make sure that if you're going to use Safari all the time, no problem. It's going to open in Safari. But if you have other browsers on your device and you want to make one of them the default browser so that when you click on a link in an email, it will open in that browser, that's how to do it. Question number 5. How can I stop calls from going to my iPad? This is a great question. So I'm going to come back to my iPhone and I'm going to swipe out and I'm going to put up the little blur sign. I'm going to come back into the Settings app. I'm going to choose Phone again. And below the little blur symbol that I have there, you'll see Calls on Other Devices. Tap on that. If I toggle the switch on, you'll see I have 3 devices connected. All of them are turned off. But I could toggle 1 or 2 of them on, or all of them, if I wanted to receive my calls on those devices. So what happens is your phone rings, but so does your iPad, or so does your iMac. I prefer to only receive calls on my phone, so I have toggled this switch completely off. So if you're having trouble with that, just come in to this area, Calls on Other Devices, and toggle that switch off. Okay. Question number 6. How can I add a daily diary sheets to a smart folder in the Notes app? So I received this question from somebody who wanted to create a diary inside the Notes app, but wanted all of the different sheets to go into one folder. And so this is pretty simple to do. If I open up the Notes app, and if you're not seeing this section that says Folders, let me just close it out. So if this is what you're seeing, to get to the Folders area, you click on this menu icon in the upper left corner, and that opens the Folders area. And then I'm going to get them down to the left-hand corner. I'm going to tap on a new folder, and I'm going to make this folder Diary. And now I want this folder to be a smart folder because I want to add a tag to it so that anytime I create a new note and I tag it with the hashtag diary, it's going to add it to that folder. So I'm going to tap on Make into Smart Note, and I'm going to tap on Tags. And I want it to be a selected tag. So I'm going to tap on any selected tag. And now you're going to see a list of the tags that are already created. I could use one of those, but I want this tag to say diary. So I'm going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to type in diary. I'm going to type in add. And now I'm going to type in done, or I'm going to tap on done. And when I do, I'm going to tap it one more time. You're going to see the Diary Smart folder appear here on the left. And how you can tell it's a smart folder is the cog wheel that you see next to the word diary. So that signifies that it's a smart folder. So let's create a new note. And let's say I just want to name this note today's date. So I'm going to just name it March 28th, 2023. And now I can add the hashtag in the title if I want to. I can add it in the body of the note if I want to. I could add it at the bottom of the note. It doesn't matter. You just need to add the hashtag. And so to do that, I'm going to tap on the 1, 2, 3 symbol down here on the left-hand side, the button here. I'm going to tap on the hashtag symbol. And when I do, you're going to see a list of my hashtags right above the keyboard. I'm going to choose diary. And now, if you look at the folder where diary is, you're going to see that there's one note there. So as soon as I add that hashtag, it immediately puts that note in that folder. If I tap on that folder and I come over to the folder menu, which is the circle with 3 dots in the folder section, I want to sort this folder instead of by date edited. I want to sort it by the date I created it. So I'm going to tap on that. And now, anytime I add a new note, it's going to sort it from the newest to the oldest. So right now you see today. Tomorrow you might see something that says yesterday, last week, last month, last year. So if you wanted to create a diary inside of your Notes app, this is a really great way to do it by just adding a tag to a smart folder. So I hope that helps. Right. Question number 7. My printer isn't always recognized when I print something, when I try to print something. So let's come back to the iPad. Or no, I'm going to go to the iPhone this time, I think, and I'm just going to open Safari. I think I have something ready to go there. I do. Okay. So I opened up just a website with an article, and let's say I wanted to print that article, and I tap on the share icon at the bottom of the screen, which is the square with the up arrow. If I click on that and I tap on print, you're going to see that it loads all of the pages, 13, and at the very top you see printer. Sometimes it occasionally is blank. If it's blank, tap into that area and see if the printer shows up there. Check it off, tap on print options, and then print. Now, if it's not there, a couple of things could be the reason. The first could be that you don't have the printer turned on. Make sure the printer is turned on. The second reason, it could be that the printer is not connected to your Wi-Fi. So you must connect your printer to the Wi-Fi. Otherwise, it's not going to print. So those are usually the two things that cause people problems. The other tip I want to show you is this. You can see that there are 13 pages here, and there is a ton of extraneous information that I really don't want to print out. So I'm going to cancel this for a second, and I'm going to come down and tap on these double A's. And I'm going to use Show Reader. And when I do, you're going to see that all of that extraneous information is removed. There's no ads. And so now if I tap on the share icon and I scroll to print, all of a sudden it's cut down to 4 pages. And that makes it a lot easier to print. Now, here's the catch. Not all websites have Show Reader available. So if you get on a website and Show Reader is grayed out, that website does not have that option available. Question number 8. My messages don't seem to be syncing across all of my devices. Another good question. So let's come to the iPhone first. And I'm going to put a little box up there again. So tap on the settings area. This is how you would check to make sure you're syncing your messages across all your devices. Tap on settings. Scroll to the top where you see your name. Tap on your name. Tap on iCloud, because for your messages to go to other devices, iCloud Sync has to be turned on. So tap on iCloud, tap on Show All, and choose Messages. This toggle switch needs to be turned on. If I go to my iPad, so let's just come back here again. Let me swipe out of that. And I go to my iPad. I'm also going to block there. If I open the Settings app here, scroll to the top to your name, tap on iCloud, tap on Show All, tap on Messages, and make sure the toggle switch is turned on. Now, if after doing that, your messages still aren't syncing, well, there could be a glitch, so you might want to toggle that switch off for a few seconds and then toggle it back on. And if it's your iPad that doesn't seem to be doing it, do it on your iPad. If you don't seem to see messages correctly on your iPhone, toggle the switch off on your iPhone. One more thing to be aware of. If you know somebody who uses an Android device, I have a couple of nephews that do, and when they send me a message, it doesn't always sync to my iPad. I get it on my iPhone without any trouble, but I don't get that message syncing across to my iPad no matter what I do. So that could be part of the problem too. It depends on what type of device they're using as well. All right, let's go to question number 9. Let me see if I can remove that sync. There we go. What's the easiest way to sort all of my apps? So on your iPhone, I really love the app library because Apple has never given us the option to sort apps by alphabetical order. So if I come over to my home screens, I have 1, 2, 3 different home screens. What I try to do is put my most used apps on my home screen. So here's a home screen that has my most used apps. And in the dock, these are the apps that I use all of the time. If I scroll over to the next page, these are all widgets. None of them are apps. So I have 2 note widgets. This is the weather widget. And if I swipe up on it, it also is my fitness widget. And then another widget from another app at the top. Let me swipe one more time. Again, these are widgets. So this is a calendar widget and then 2 shortcut widgets. So as you can see, I don't put a lot of apps on my home screen because when I come into the app library, I can search for whatever I need. So if I don't see it, when I'm just kind of scrolling through, well then I can tap at the top to get into the search part of it, and I can type in the app that I want, and it brings it up and I can get right to it. So that's pretty much how I sort my apps. But it really is an individual preference. I've seen people with tons of apps on their home screens. They might have 6, 7, or 8 pages. I've seen people that don't have any apps on their home screen. They just have 4 apps in their dock. And it works the same way on the iPad as well. I think it was in iOS 15 that Apple added the app library to the iPad. So I try not to keep too many apps on my home screen. Question number 10. How can I add the Notes app to my Apple Watch? Sorry to disappoint the person that sent this question in, but you can't. The Notes app cannot be added to the Apple Watch. Apple has allowed so many different apps to be on the Apple Watch, and Notes isn't one of them. There are third-party apps that you can use in the notes, or sorry, in the Apple Watch that do notes like drafts, but those are apps that you have to pay for. So I hope that at some point the Apple team will let us use the Notes app on our Apple Watch. All right. Question number 11. Can I move a scanned document to the Files app? Yes. So let me come to the iPad, and I'm going to bring up the Notes app because that's where we scan documents to. And I'm going to locate, so how you can tell if a document has been scanned is you'll see next to it one scanned document or scanned document. So if you look for those things, you should be able to locate your scanned documents. And if I wanted to move this document over to the Files app, you can leave it in the Notes app. There's no problem with that. But if I wanted to move it over to the Files app, you'll tap on the share icon. You'll scroll down to where it says Save Files. Tap on that. And then once you do, it's going to put it into a folder, but you can change that. So I'm going to tap on iCloud Drive, and I'm going to tap so that it goes into my inbox. And now I'm going to tap on Save. So now if I swipe out of Notes and I come in to the Files app, I'm in the Recents folder, and here's the document that we just added. So you can add scanned documents to the Files app by just using the Share Sheet icon. And we're down to our last question. Whoops. There we go. What happens if I accidentally delete a text message? So if you accidentally delete a text message, it's recoverable now. It didn't used to be. It used to be that if you deleted a text message, it was gone forever. I'm going to come into my text messaging app. I'm going to swipe on a text message to delete it. I'm going to tap on delete. Give it a few seconds because sometimes if you tap on the edit button, it doesn't show up right away. But I'm going to tap on the edit button, and now you're going to see show recently deleted. I'm going to tap on that. And right now there is one recently deleted message. If I tap on that and I tap on recover, I tap on recover again, it's going to take a few seconds because there's so many messages within that message. But eventually it's going to disappear, and now it's going to be back where we put it. But if I go back to edit now, that message isn't there anymore because there are no recently deleted apps in there. So Apple keeps those apps for 30 days. So hopefully if you delete a message and you remember it, the next day or within 30 days, you'll be able to recover that message. Otherwise, it's likely that you might lose that message. So just be careful when you're deleting something and just be sure that that's, what you want to do. So that takes us to the end of the Q&A. If anybody has any other questions, let me know. Jaylene, I'm so glad that you're finding these helpful. If you ever have questions, send them to me. I enjoy answering them. And if there's, you can always reach me using the email that I send out. But if nobody has any questions, I'll go ahead and end this because I don't want to keep you too long. Thanks, Jaylene. I appreciate that. The questions were great. They were really good this time, so they're always good. There's no dumb question, so if you ever have a question that I can answer, please send it. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.